Stay tuned all the way through to the end of this video because you're really going to want to see what Elon Musk says. It's pretty important.
I want to thank Noble Gold for sponsoring today's video. Most Americans don't own sound money. Sound money is defined by the Constitution as gold and silver. It's been accepted as sound money for over 5,000 years. And even though it's been artificially suppressed by the international banking cartel, it was the best performing investment class for 2022. In that year, the S&P was down 20%, the Dow was down 10%, and Bitcoin was down over 65%. Gold and silver outperformed them all. Open a gold or silver IRA with Noble Gold Investments this month and get this quarter-ounce American Gold Eagle for free with every qualified IRA of $50K or more. With thousands of five-star reviews, there's a lot of happy people who are glad they went with Noble Gold. Check them out with my link in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, back to today's video. You will definitely want to stay around to the end of this video because I have something very interesting to show you. First, there's this channel right here that I'd really like you to take a second right now and subscribe to. It's a channel that deals with police accountability and holding government officials accountable. Yesterday, Barack Obama tweeted this out. Minister Jacinda Ardern has guided New Zealand through crises and seized opportunities by leading with foresight, integrity, and empathy. Seized opportunities? You dang right she did. You know why? Because you never want a good crisis to go to waste. What I mean by that is you want to use crises to implement things that you otherwise couldn't have implemented if there wasn't a crisis situation that we, the government, had to take care of for the safety of the people. And of course, the safety of the people is always the alibi of what? Leaders? No, tyrants. Says her country is better off because of her remarkable leadership. How about tyrannical rulership? And the rest of us are too. Let me just remind you of what Jacinda Ardern said and what her attitude was toward her fellow countrymen back not too long ago.
About people refuse, what do we do if someone refuses to be tested? Well, they can't now. If someone refuses in our facilities to be tested, they have to keep staying. So they won't be able to leave after 14 days. They have to stay on for another 14 days. So it's a pretty good incentive. You either get your tests done and make sure you're cleared, or we will keep you in a facility longer. So I think most people will look at that and say, I'll take the test.
Most people will look at that other than Barack Obama, but they know what it really is. They look at that and they say, you know what? Basically, you're forcing me to do something that I don't want to do. You're forcing me to take something I don't want to take. You're forcing me to go somewhere that I don't want to go. And what is that called? That's called abusing your power. Another word for it is tyranny or being a tyrant. And my question is it a good idea to continue accepting the rulership of tyrants? Because Barack Obama says it's okay. Jacinda Ardern says it's okay. Tony Blair says it's okay. The presidents of the United States say it's okay to force your countrymen to do things that they don't want to do. And they don't call that tyranny. They call it democracy. What do you call it? The next thing I wanted to show you this right here. They really, really want reparations in San Francisco. Listen to the insanity and ask yourself, where is the money going to come from? Because somebody's got to get plundered. If we're going to give, they're talking about giving San Francisco Americans, African Americans, $5 million plus an annual salary. Listen to this. And they're not joking.
San Francisco. The city's African American Reparations Advisory Committee presented proposals to city leaders last month, and we're getting some details now. According to the Chronicle, one proposal would be a lump sum reparations payment of $5 million to each eligible person. Residents must be 18 at the time the committee's proposal is enacted and have identified as Black or African American on public documents for at least 10 years. They also have to prove they were born in the city between 1940 and 1996, have lived in San Francisco for at least 13 years, and be someone or the direct descendant of someone incarcerated during the war on drugs.
What if you're the direct descendant of somebody who was incarcerated during the illegal, costly, unconstitutional war on drugs, but you're not Black? What if you're white? You don't get reparations then? What if you're an immigrant into this country and you had nothing to do with slavery in the Civil War era? You had nothing to do with slavery. As a matter of fact, your ancestors where you came from were descendants of the Slavs who were slaves of other people. Did they get reparations? Where do the reparations come from? Because this is basically a power and wealth transfer. The government can't give you something that it hasn't first taken or stolen from someone else. So what they're trying to do is, and this is what reparations are when you really get down to it, because government's not going to give you the money that it didn't first steal from somebody else. That means that you're saying, hey, I want government to use their power. I want them to use their force and their influence and their oppressive techniques to oppress other people, extract, fleece money from them so that they can transfer that money to other people who actually weren't directly affected by slavery. Is slavery bad? Absolutely. But what is reparations? What's going after reparations? It's basically slavery. Hey, I, the government, am going to pay all these black people $5 million plus an annual salary. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put you other people into slavery. Because that's what it is. When somebody claims the value of your time and your labor, they claim your time and labor and you can't do any, you have no say in it. You can't resist without being punished. That is a slavery situation. Listen to the rest of this.
The committee will submit its final proposal to city leaders in June. This is gaining nationwide attention.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting. So I just did a little breakdown to think about how many people this could be. And I know this number isn't it, but just so that we can paint a picture of the numbers in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So this is the Census Bureau from 2020, 392,000 white people. About 300,000 people that identify as Asian American.
Speaking of Asian, what about people who had direct descendants who were put into concentration camps on American soil under the reign of FDR? Did they get reparations? And is it right? See, the question here is it moral? Is it moral to steal from a group of people who had nothing to do with slavery so that you can give it to other people who weren't directly impacted by slavery? No, it's not moral.
132,000 Hispanic, 44,000 Black in San Francisco. That is pretty small.
It's a really low number.
Really low number. And then you have to think about all of these requirements. So many people, especially in San Francisco, we know are transplants.
Right.
Also may not be descendants of slaves, may not have been born within these parameters. Like when you really get down to all these requirements, I'm curious how many people that.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Tucker Carlson has been on a World Economic Forum exposure stint, which is really refreshing to see. I'm wondering what the double psychological operation here is, but this is pretty interesting and funny.
Time to check in with our lizard overlords in Davos, Switzerland. What are they up to? Well, this.
Now, before we go on with what Tucker Carlson says about this, think about this right here. If this lady right here is not from Davos, Switzerland, then she had to fly in. If her guitarist isn't from Davos, Switzerland, then they had to fly in. So a bunch of carbon was emitted into the atmosphere for this nonsense while they get on their soapboxes and virtue signal about how you need to reduce your carbon footprint.
Thank you for watching. Ooh. Yeah, those people run the world. They're so impressive. What a bunch of freaks.
What a bunch of freaks. Now, there's a new commercial out featuring, it's for Pfizer, Z-E-R, and it's featuring Martha Stewart. Check this out. It's pretty interesting. Weird.
You know that unwelcome guest everyone wishes would just leave already? That's COVID-19. That's why I got the new updated booster, designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants.
Now pay attention. Now watch this. Okay, so see that part of the pineapple right here? Somebody makes an interesting observation about that pineapple, and I don't know anything about this. This may or may not be true. I haven't done any research, but this person right here says, wasn't an ingredient in pineapple just revealed to help break down you know what? Interesting choice of fruit when it might be part of the you know what? And she sliced off the stem where the bromelain is found. I don't know if that's true. I'm just reporting what we're viewing on Twitter here. So she does hack off the top of this pineapple.
Variants. Got it.
Schedule your new update. Don't forget, do exactly what they say. Fall in line. And the last thing I wanted to deal with does have to do with that strange commercial. This is I consider this to be pretty big beans. Just today at 1:22 a.m., Elon Musk tweeted out, and this is in response to Scott Adams' tweet. Scott Adams, of course, is the creator of Dilbert. And he says, how do we interpret this? Question, 68% of 260 million adults, 177 million, indicate that they received you know what? And 7% of those reported major, let's call them SEs. That translates 177 times 0.07 into approximately 12 million people. The Cat Dog Cat Corporation says major SEs are rare. How many people does the Cat Dog Cat Corporation estimate had major SEs? To which Elon Musk responded, and this is how this is what I mean by this is pretty big. I had major SEs from my, you know what, felt like I was dying for several days, he says. And then he says, hopefully no permanent damage, but I don't know. And then he puts a tweet under that, which says, and my cousin, who is young and in peak health, had a serious case of, you know what, and had to go to the hospital. Dr. Peter McCullough weighs in. By the way, he was reinstated by Elon Musk. Elon, here's a graphic that helps people understand the you know what induced M's. Summarizes concepts from 250 peer-reviewed and preprint papers. Have dozens of cases in my cardiology practice, he says to Elon Musk. Elijah Schaefer from, I think he was with the Blaze or is with the Blaze. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is there, what the status is. I'm still intrigued by how many intelligent people got duped into taking these. Perhaps it's my background in molecular biology that made me suspect to this technology, but so many people I thought would easily see through it all fell for it. But how? I'm still perplexed. Scott Adams writes, it was a coin flip and some guessed right. So I want to see what you guys think about this because, you know, I'm still viewing Elon Musk as World Economic Forum, young global leader. Elon Musk, creator of Neuralink, pushes for UBI, which is universal basic income, and carbon tax credits. And, you know, he's still got his thumbnail right here. He's he was the self-proclaimed devil's champion. So I want to see what you guys think about this. I'm not giving any kind of advice, you know, medical advice or anything like that. I don't know. I'm fairly ignorant on a lot of this stuff, but I want to see what you guys say. Weigh in the comment section below. Again, if you haven't done so already, there's an incredible channel right here that deals with holding police officers and public officials accountable. And there's going to be some new videos that you're really going to want to take a look at. So take a second right now and subscribe to that channel. Hit that bell notification icon. Watch a couple of the videos. Leave some comments. Let me know that you came over from this channel. I appreciate you guys. If you want to support the channel, don't you like my see-through shirt right here? Look at that. Isn't that crazy? If you want to support the channel, grab a hard-hitting conversation starting design that you can get from the store. Put on a shirt, hoodie, mug, cell phone case, whatever you want. The links are in the description and in the pinned comment. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.
It might be a good idea while you still can to convert your fiat currency notes into long-term storable food. Use my link in the description and get $100 off instantly for this survival food. Do it while you still can because, guys, I cannot guarantee that they're going to have this available in the future.